What if I told you that you could upgrade your entire garden to be self-watering and self-fertilizing? Today, we're going to dig into two ancient secrets that do exactly that, giving you more vibrant plants with a whole lot less work.
Really think about that for a second. What if the best systems for feeding and watering your plants didn't come in a plastic bag or from a garden hose, but were already there, just waiting under your feet? It sounds kind of wild, I know, but this one idea pretty much challenges everything we've been taught about gardening for the last 70 years.
The secret really comes down to two super simple techniques. And these are not new inventions by any stretch. Nope, these are ancient technologies that were so effective, so efficient, and, well, so free that the modern fertilizer industry basically spent the last century hoping you'd never hear about them. So you gotta ask, right? How did we lose this knowledge in the first place? To get that, we need to take a quick look back at how our whole view of soil got flipped upside down, from a living thing to a chemistry experiment. For literally thousands of years, pretty much every great civilization knew this simple fact: where things rot, things grow. Simple. Then, in 1881, the one and only Charles Darwin publishes his final book, after 40 years of obsessive study, scientifically proving that earthworms are the real engines of fertile soil. But then, after World War II, everything changed. Giant chemical plants that made explosives needed a new customer, and they found one in synthetic nitrogen fertilizer. Almost overnight, the focus went from living soil biology to sterile soil chemistry. And the humble earthworm? It just got forgotten. And listen to this quote. This came from Darwin's final book. He actually thought it was one of the most important books of his entire career. He knew that these little worms weren't just living in the soil, they were the ones creating it. They were the engineers. Let's be real, this science didn't vanish because it was proven wrong. It vanished because a system that creates endless, free fertilizer from your kitchen scraps is, well, it's a terrible business model if your goal is to sell someone a new bag of fertilizer every single spring. Okay, so how do we reactivate this incredible natural system in our own backyards? Well, it all starts with understanding the two key parts, one for water and one for nutrients. All right, so check this out. On the left, you've got the olla. It's basically an unglazed terracotta pot you bury in your garden, you fill it up, and the porous clay lets the plant roots pull water out exactly when they need it. It's a genius, self-regulating system, no more over or underwatering. Then on the right, you have the worm tower. This is just a simple pipe with holes in it that acts like a 24/7 diner for earthworms, turning your entire garden into a self-fertilizing machine. You see the pattern here? Both are based on one beautiful principle: just let nature do the work.
So how does that worm tower really work? How do the worms even know the food is there? It all comes down to a really cool biological process called chemotaxis. Worms don't have eyes or ears, but they can smell their way through the soil. The food scraps in your tower send out these invisible chemical signals. It's like a dinner bell that only they can hear, and it leads them right to the feast.
And the sheer power of this little workforce, it's absolutely staggering. Darwin himself calculated that on a single acre of land, the worm population churns through about 10 tons of soil every single year, with no machines, no chemicals, no human effort at all. They're just constantly tilling, aerating, and enriching the ground for free. Now, when you put what the worms produce, their castings, head to head with the blue stuff you buy in a bag, it's not even a fair fight. Look at this. Synthetic fertilizer gives plants a quick jolt. Sure, but it washes away and can actually harm the microbes in your soil. Worm castings, on the other hand, are this perfectly balanced, slow-release meal, packed with beneficial microbes and even natural plant growth hormones. Oh, and the best part? They're totally free. Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do you actually put it into practice? Well, you're going to love this part. The answer is almost insultingly simple, and it costs next to nothing. That's right. $2. That's about what you'll pay for a short length of PVC pipe and a cap to go on top. That is the entire investment you need to build your very own infinite fertilizer factory that runs 24/7 right in the heart of your garden. And building it is so easy. You grab a pipe or even an old bucket, about 1.5 to 2 feet long. Drill a bunch of holes in the bottom part. Think of these as the front doors for the worms. Plop it down in the middle of your garden bed, bury it so about 4 inches are sticking out, and then put a lid on it to keep the rain and critters out. That's it. You're done. All right, what do you feed it? Just keep it simple. Your raw fruit and veggie scraps, coffee grounds, used tea bags, crushed up eggshells, that's all perfect. You can even throw in some torn up cardboard or newspaper. That gives the worms the carbon they need to balance out all the nitrogen from the food scraps. It keeps the whole system happy. And just as important is what you don't put in. Steer clear of any meat, dairy, or oily foods. They can go rancid and create smells that worms actually hate. Go easy on the citrus peels too, since they can make the soil too acidic. And it should go without saying, but never ever put anything in there that's been treated with pesticides.
You know, it's really helpful to think about this differently. You're not just making a little compost bin, you're building a worm superhighway, and the pipe is the most popular rest stop on the route. The worms are your delivery drivers. They come in, they eat, and then they travel back out into your garden, dropping off priceless fertilizer right at the roots of your plants. So really, this all comes down to a pretty big shift in how we see our gardens. Instead of treating the soil like it's just dead dirt that we have to pump chemicals into, these ancient methods ask us to see it as a living, breathing ecosystem. By partnering up with nature's own master gardeners, we can build a garden that's way more productive, more resilient, and a heck of a lot less work. The only real question left is, are you ready to work with it? Thanks for tuning in.